Hello guys, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time it's another wave rundown thing. The reason why I didn't really do a lot of these before this is because I didn't feel like I needed to, because I got the reviews, I got other stuff about a certain toy. I didn't really need to make another one about the same toys, so it's like, what's the point? But at the same time, I just want to give my initial thoughts on the wave as a whole, because this is the new wave of Power of the Primes. I know people have gotten the second wave recently, but I haven't been able to get that. So with that out of the way, I just kind of wanted to do this video. I don't know. So taking a look at these figures, we got Jazz, Dreadwind, Swoop, and Slug. You get enough figures to help you make at least one combiner starting off from Power of the Primes. I know you can get the Combiner Wars stuff, but if people weren't around during Combiner Wars, you still have a set to work with. And how's the quality of these figures? The quality's not that good. It's actually pretty bad. Jazz, for instance, as an example, has these very weak shoulders. He's got clear plastic throughout his body, and that's not a good sign. A lot of loose joints. In fact, a lot of these have loose joints and very light plastic. Now, that might have something to do with the Prime armor set, which is basically the hands that they're trying to incorporate a whole gimmick to, and it just doesn't work. Basically, the clear bit, or sometimes they're the clear bit, but this little panel can pop off. It can be used as another gun, and you can use the Prime Master figures inside that, and it just doesn't work out too well. I mean, as shields, I kind of like them. That's what I usually use them for, but they're supposed to plug onto the chest for each figure, and I don't think that's a good gimmick. I don't like it. I kind of get what they want to do, but I just don't think it works. For some of them, it's okay, like Dreadwind and Slug. I think it could have worked, especially with Dreadwind's color scheme. I think that's better, but I just don't think the overall gimmick is really that well thought out, and could have been improved. Taking a look at the figures, I think my favorites are the Dinobots out of this wave. I love the Dreadwind figure, but I mean, I just got the Dinobot, so I can't really say that they're really that good. But I think Dreadwind is pretty cool. Jazz is definitely the weakest out of the wave. He just doesn't have... He has a cool-looking alt mode. The robot mode has its problems, and each limb mode has their own problems, but Swoop's limb modes are pretty bad as far as the tabs are concerned. It doesn't look that bad, it's just the tabs don't really work. For example, with the legs, they don't really combine too well. I think Slug is definitely the more put-together figure out of the whole wave. And very loose hips on 3 of these figures. Dreadwind is, unfortunately, the worst. Actually, no, he's the worst with his knees. Slug is the best one out of the whole set as far as QC issues, because he's got a lot of tight joints. I think overall he works. Unfortunately, you can't really move the head too much, but other than that, I think he is probably the best out of the set. I like Swoop the most just because I love Swoop, but out of the whole set, I think as far as the toy is concerned, Slug is the better one to get. And I do like the fact that we're getting half the Dinobots. I know they could have released the full set of the Dinobots and not just split it half and half. But at the same time, you want to release a couple of other figures. You don't want to just make it seem like it's going to be like the Dinobots are a major thing. You kind of want to mix it up, so I do understand that. I think overall, this wave is not that great. I understand if people are going to go after third party for the Dinobots and Dreadwind, and maybe go after a Masterpiece Jazz, because I'm sure they're going to do it at some point. I mean, come on, why haven't they? I don't know. Either way, I know there's a third-party Jazz out there that you can get. So, and of course, the Reveal the Shields one, that's the one that I was trying to think of, and then I lost it, but then I got it again. Yeah, Reveal the Shields Jazz is probably the one to get. As far as quality is concerned, because they have very cheap plastic, Swoop and Slug have unfortunate problems where their back legs break at a certain point. It is a well-known problem. Basically, these hinges, and then the hinges for the dino legs just don't really hold too well. And yeah, that is a major issue. It is unfortunate to see a lot of the quality control issues with these toys, because I feel like they have the potential to be either okay or good. Jazz could be okay, and then Swoop and Slug and Dreadwind could be really good, but they have a lot of issues that really bring them down, and I can't really say that I recommend them to everyone. I understand when people say, oh, it's a cheap toy and whatnot. That said, I can't say I hate them, because I love Swoop. I love the idea of Dreadwind. It's just the knees. If they fix the knees, fine, and your version of Dreadwind might not have that issue. Again, Slug is the most put together, so, you know, minus him, it's mostly everyone else. So with that out of the way, that is pretty much it. That's my initial thoughts on Wave 1 of Power of the Primes. I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads, and I'll see you guys next time.